Zero calculators. If you've followed my channel for a little while, this name might already ring a bell, since I made a few shorts about them last year. Zero is a new company based in the US who have been working on a graphing calculator that they hope can be an alternative option to the TI-84 Plus CE, and maybe chip away a bit at TI's massive market share. But wait, you ask, why has it been over a year since you last made a video about them? Only a few months after the last video I made, the website mysteriously disappeared, redirecting to a 404 link which was later replaced with a page displaying the words, "Coming soon." Not only did the website disappear, but their various social media accounts stopped posting shortly after. It would be easy to say that maybe the whole calculator was a hoax, as after all it was the first calculator the company had ever made, and suddenly it disappeared only a few months before the planned release date. However, this wasn't a very satisfying answer, as important members in the calculator community and owners of forums had received prototypes for testing. After all, you wouldn't make prototypes for something that was just entirely a hoax. There's no point, you're just wasting money. Development continued on in private, and new prototypes and software versions were still being sent out to testers, so what really did happen? While Zero never officially explained the entire situation, they have said that they needed to make some urgent design changes to the calculator, and the popular theory is that they may have been threatened by TI for having too similar of a design to TI's calculators. Given that the calculator's main purpose was essentially to act as a better version of the 84 Plus CE, it was clear that they certainly took a lot of inspiration from it. Thankfully, it seemed that the project wasn't cancelled, but only delayed, which brings us to now, where it appears the company has begun to make a return. Recently, a new version of the Zero has been sent out to testers with a lot of major changes. It's already been covered by another calculator YouTuber, The Last Millennial, along with an article on both calculator forums TI Planet and Chematech. And while I don't have one myself, I've compiled most of the important information into this video so you can learn all about it. First, the calculator. Compared to the last revision, it certainly looks a lot different, and you'll notice right away that the keys are now dome-shaped, which is certainly a unique design choice to say the least, as most calculators don't have dome-shaped keys. The finish is very shiny as well, which has received a number of complaints due to its reflectiveness and ability to pick up fingerprints, though hopefully this will be changed before the final model. As this is a prototype, there's still time for changes to be made, so if you do have any, you can leave a comment, and maybe if Zero sees this video, they'll take them into account. The inside of the calculator has changed a lot too. The previous prototypes used a 32-bit ARM7 STM32 processor, while the latest prototype uses a 32-bit ARM7 GD32 processor with 3 MB of built-in flash memory and a speed of 200 MHz, which is about 4 times faster than the clock speed of the CE's processor. It also has 8 MB of external RAM and 8 MB of external flash, which is far more than the CE, but still less flash than other calculators such as the TI Inspire or Casio FX CG50. The display is the same resolution as the 84 Plus CE, at 320 by 240 pixels, and the battery is a 2200 mAh lithium-ion battery which can be charged using the USB-C port. Obviously, with these improved specs comes a massive upgrade in graphing speed compared to the CE, as demonstrated by The Last Millennial in his video. While we're on the topic of differences between the Zero and CE, another extremely notable difference is the inclusion of USB-C. Being the second graphing calculator brand to adopt USB-C after the Numworks N0120 and N0115, it is certainly nice to see connectivity brought back up to date. In fact, Zero doesn't even require special transfer software for files, and can be plugged into your computer and recognized as a storage device that you can simply drag and drop programs to. There are also, however, some downsides compared to the TI-84 Plus CE as well. According to beta testers, the software has quite a number of bugs that still need to be worked out, and the shape of the buttons can make them quite annoying to use. Hopefully most of this will be cleared up before the calculator hits the market, though, as I mentioned before, it is still currently a prototype, which means changes can be made. As far as the operating system goes, there are some pros and cons. While it includes a built-in dark and light mode, something the CE is certainly lacking, it does still have bugs which need to be worked out before release. It uses a smaller font, which means that more text can be fit on the screen at once, though I have seen this complained about as it can make the text slightly harder to read. One of the most important features in a calculator to me, as someone who has both written and used many third-party programs on calculators in the past, is the freedom and ability to write code for the calculator. The Zero calculator includes both a version of MicroPython and a Zero Basic language similar to TI Basic. I also asked Zero about support for languages like assembly and C, and it seems like the current stance of the company is to not block it, but also not provide many resources for it, instead letting the community figure it out themselves. This is nice that they're not blocking it, though it could always possibly change in the future, as we've seen happen with companies like Texas Instruments and NumWorks. To sum things up, I think that the Zero calculator is certainly a very exciting product, and hopefully will be successful enough to press some competition and bring a second wave of upgrades to graphing calculators. While I'm sure it won't replace the TI-84 Plus, it has a lot of potential, and I hope will be a calculator we see in classrooms over the coming years. Be sure to let me know what you think about the Zero calculator in the comments, and let me know what you'd like to see in the calculator so that maybe Zero can take it into account if they end up watching this video. As always, this has been Tiny Hacker, and I'll see you in the next video.